Hi everyone, this is Miss Xochi. Happy Tuesday everyone, this is Miss Xochi from Creating Angelic Experiences, and I'm so excited to be here. It's Tuesday and we get together here every Tuesday night for Creating Angelic Experiences, and I really hope that you are joining us live, whether it's over the phone or whether it is on Google Plus Live. We are here and I'm here and it's Tuesday. And I just want to let everyone know that this week we yeah, I don't know, we're just having technical difficulties again. Okay, now we're back. And we just had a full moon last weekend, and like I was saying, for those of you that want to join us on the Facebook page, you're more than welcome to. It's facebook.com/Miss Xochi page, MSXOCHIPAGE page. And we're talking about blessings in disguise today. If you have a question, go ahead and let me know in any way, shape, or form, and I will be taking some callers in a little bit. And so last weekend, just a couple days ago, we had a full moon, and I'm very sensitive to the moon, very, very, very sensitive to the moon. So when there's an intense moon, whether it's full or whether it's new, I get very emotional, I get very sensitive, a lot of things happen, I can feel a lot of people's energy. And so I can take on other people's energy without wanting to. And so if this is you, that means you're just sensitive towards energy, and that's nothing wrong with that, that's totally fine. You just have to learn how to work with that and deal with it and whatnot. So that's number one. When it comes to blessings in disguise, I just want you to know that sometimes we might just be in this energy of where we're just giving or whether we're just receiving, and you want to just notice where you are on that spectrum. Is it you're just giving, or are you just receiving, and not really being in balance? Because sometimes we need to have that giving and then that receiving, and then we'll end up doing more giving and then hardly any receiving, or vice versa. So you want to make sure that you're balanced, you have that, you're in the middle of that spectrum, not too much receiving. And there's nothing wrong with receiving. You always want to be open to receive, but you also want to be open to giving back, to whether it's your time, whether it's your money, whether it's your energy, really, really noticing how you can give back. All right, so just want to remind you that we just had a full moon, so that could have made things a little bit crazy for you. Things are still kind of settling around, and there's a lot of change in the air. I know it is for me, so I don't know where you are, but definitely I'm looking forward to hearing from you in a little bit. So we can probably delve into that. So next is about the blessings in disguise. So how can we be conscious? Oh, I gotta put my earrings on. How can we be more conscious of? How can we be more conscious of our blessings, right? Because they're not always obvious. For instance, as I mentioned to you before, I recently had about a month ago. Thank God it's been a month. I'm so grateful it's been a month. I had a car accident, and yeah, I'm thinking there's no way that was a blessing. Like, are you kidding me right now? But right after, I was like thinking, out of the situation, only great things will happen, and how can I see this as a blessing? What can I do, right? So these are some. I'm going to refer back to this or maybe other examples, but this is the latest thing that I've been dealing with. So that's what we're going to relate to, for me at least. So it's really releasing, and it's letting go of outcomes. So letting go of with the car accident, for me, it was really being grateful. Being grateful in that, I was able to walk away. I was able to walk out of the car. I was able to get out of the car. I wasn't like crushed in the car. I wasn't in a fire from the car. I spun more than 500 degrees, but I didn't hit a light post. I didn't hit any big major property. I mean, obviously there were other cars, but I was the one that got the worst end of it, physically with my body, because I was the one that had the whole stuff going on. So being grateful with, I remember one of the first things I did was I looked at my hands, and I was like, okay, did this just happen? Is this real? And I was shaking, of course. And so the blessing at that moment was, you know what, if it would have happened, I actually went to of course, because I have a bunch of healers that I go to and intuitives. I did actually have a reading with an astrologer last week, and we looked at how the stars aligned the day I had the accident, and she specifically told me, had I had this accident later, that it probably would have been worse. And so I trust the universe. I really imagine that my angels were like, 50 times bigger than me, in the middle of the street, really kind of putting up bumpers for where my car was turning and landing. And I really feel that, when you go bowling and the kids are bowling and they put those bumpers, I kind of feel like that's what they did. I felt like they kind of put these like big shields so that whichever way I turn, because I'm telling you right now, I don't even know if I spun to the right or if I spun to the left. And I really feel that they put some bumpers on, and they were like maneuvering which way I landed. And it was just crazy the way I landed. But I'm grateful that at that moment, it was not easy to say. It was like, am I okay? That was the very first thing. And I'm still alive, and being grateful. And out of the situation, only great things will happen. And since then, I mean, I'm not going to tell you, it's not a cake, what's that term? It hasn't been a walk in the park, that's for sure. It's been more like a hike. It's been like, going uphill, dealing with the insurance, and dealing with the other people, waiting for the police report, and seeing what they say, and, dealing with just, I had to get a new car. I had just gotten a car. I mean, all these crazy things that just don't seem like blessings. I mean, I could choose, as well as you could choose when you're going through something traumatic or really hard or difficult. I could choose to say, you know what, this is crap, I hate this. And there were times that, I wanted to go there. I knew my ego was taking over. I knew that it was really testing my faith in the moments of not going into that place of fear, not freaking out, and not knowing that there are great things that are happening to me. One of my affirmations is, besides out of the situation only great things will happen, another affirmation of mine is, of course, now that I said that, I forgot it. Oh, when something leaves my life, I trust that something better is coming. So when something leaves my life, I trust that something better is coming. And that is with people, that is with jobs, that is with, for instance, the car. I remember when I got that car, I kept telling people, well, it's just a transitional car. It's just a transitional car. And so I'm not going to say that again. I'm really not going to say that again. I'm going to say it is really, I'm going to have the car for as long as it's meant for me to have, and as long as she is right for me, and as long as it's aligned for me. And that's letting go of the outcomes. I'm still having to let go because it's not over with, but I'm choosing to see the blessing. I know that there's a blessing. I know that I could have been injured worse. I know that something worse could have happened. What if there was a pedestrian? I mean, honestly, that was like one of my biggest fears. When my car spun because I landed on the sidewalk, that I hit a pedestrian. I was almost crying. I was like, there's no way, oh my God. I was freaking out because that's what I was so scared of. I was like, did I hit someone with my car? As far as like a person, not just a car, because they're protected. You're somewhat protected in your car, right? But that was one of my biggest fears, and it was so scary. It's like, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm okay, but is everyone else okay? And so letting go of the outcomes, letting go of whether who was right, who was wrong, letting go of the complaining, letting go of the whining. I had to requalify for another car. I didn't even know what I wanted. I wasn't sure. I had to deal with my emotions. I had to deal with all this stuff. I mean, I'm still a little freaked out when I'm driving. If I see a bunch of red lights, I'm like, I start to freak out a little bit. I'm constantly, like I said, I have healers that I go to that are helping me out. And so it's going to take time. So letting go of the outcome, letting go of the factor that it's going to, not being so hard on myself. Letting go like, what, I'm not going to have it all together right after. And you probably won't have it all together if something happens, if someone just passes away in your life. I mean, it's a process. When there's an ending, there are also beginnings. And it could be the end of a relationship. It could be the end of, a career. It could be the end of a job. Whatever that is, I mean, you've got to let go of that outcome of, did you really think that you were going to be at that job for the rest of your life? I mean, part of us, wants it, right? Part of you wants it. I know parts of me want some things to last as long as it can in this lifetime. A relationship or like that honeymoon phase, that when you meet someone and everything is just awesome, and or like my first date with someone and it's going really well, and I just don't want it to end, and it's just like you feel butterflies or whatever that is, for you. It could be you had a great job, and but that you're not going to grow there anymore, or that your time is up. That the relationship that you're not happy anymore. That person's not happy anymore. And it's not that you're making them miserable or he or she's making you miserable, or it could be, but I'm not going to say that. You don't want it to get that far. It could be that it is just, you don't want to face the truth. You don't want to face the reality of, we've got to remember that everything is going to be fine. Everything is really working out for our highest good. And there's a lesson involved. And the sooner that we are able to let go of the outcome, the easier it is for things to flow, for the universe to bring us that flow of everything coming in with ease. So it's releasing, it's letting go of outcome, and also not holding on to the past. I remember after I had the accident, I kept thinking, is there anything I could have done? Is there anything I could have done to prevent this? And I know without a doubt that I made my decisions when I was driving. I was looking straight. I wasn't like texting. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't messing with the phone or my radio. I was looking. I analyzed it. I made a decision. And, when I've broken up with someone in the past, or when it's, been over with, I knew that it was over. It was over. It's just, you've got to let go of the past, holding on to the coulda, the shouldas, the wouldas. You know, I didn't. I wish I would have. I could have done that. You know, the should. I told my dad the other day. I said, Dad, don't should on me. He's like, you should have packed. I was going on a vacation. You should have packed. I'm like, don't should on me. I don't like the shoulds. And, you know, I don't should on myself, although I do a little bit. But we got to get out of that mentality. We got to get out of that, you know, I should have done that. I could have done that. Just, it's all beating yourself up. And who is that serving? I mean, does that really serve you? No, it just totally doesn't. It doesn't serve me when I do it. I mean, can you imagine if every day I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get to the angel day on call on time, or I didn't, you know, I didn't send out that email, or I didn't, yeah, I could worry about it. Or I could say, you know what, I didn't go, and whatever, it didn't happen, and I'm going to get over it. I'm not going to cry over the spoiled milk. I'm not going to cry over the spilled milk. You know what, things happen for a reason. Who knows that maybe that accident could have prevented me from getting into a bigger accident later. Or if it was, you know, if it had to happen for whatever reason, maybe I made the contract before I came on this planet to have an accident on that day and time or within a specific time range. And it was with those people, and it was just like, well, we can have it, you know, this was the easy way. Maybe there was a more difficult way. And you know what? It didn't happen that way. So letting go of relinquishing, you know, just stop holding on to the past. Oh, we could have done that. I could have spent more time with my loved one. I could have, you know, done this for my children. I could have practiced more. I could have studied more. I could have, you know, whatever. I didn't water my plants as much as I could have when I was on vacation. And oh my gosh, and you know, all these things. Like I could have just let it go. You're just holding on to the past, and there's nothing else you can do about it. I mean, it's the past. And we have what is present. We have what's present right now. And so holding on to the past doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. So stop it. Let's change that energy. Let's change our channel and tune into the higher vibration of, okay, let it go. It's really hard for me right now, but I'm going to do it. You know, you talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time. It's okay. People think I'm crazy anyway, so it's all good. Relinquish control. Relinquish control. There's God's business, there's your business, and there's other people's business. Again, there's God's business, universe business, whatever you want of higher power. So there's that business, there's other people's business, and then there's your business, right? So we don't have control over other people's business. I have control over what insurance the other people had that I got into an accident with. No, I have no control. I have no control about how someone's going to react. When I had the accident, actually, one of the drivers got upset and came out of the car and was like, "You hit my car!" Blah, blah, blah. You know, I had no control over that. No control over that. But I had a control over how I acted. I could have gotten out of the car. I could have rolled down my window and been like, well, I gotten into a crazy argument or disagreement, but I didn't. I chose not to. I chose to think about me and am I okay? You know, let me worry about me and not even worry about, I couldn't worry about him. He was walking and was able to drive, and I just was like, oh, freaking out. And so I was like, you know what? He didn't ask me about me, but I'm going to ask myself, am I okay? And ask yourself that. When I'm having a bad day or when I'm having a bad moment, because I don't like having bad days, when I'm having a bad moment or a bad hour or bad whatever, or not so great, let's just say that, I don't like bad, the not so great moments, I'll go to the mirror and I'll say, what can I do for you right now to help you? What can I do to make you feel better? Ask yourself, what can I do right now to make you feel better? And it might be, you know what, just being quiet. It might just be breathing. It might be go take a yoga class. It might be go get some yoga land. It might be, you know, call on your angels. It could be go take a bike ride. It could be go on a walk in the park or on the beach or outside. Whatever that is for you. But ask yourself, really ask yourself, go into a mirror and say, what can I do for you right now that will make you feel better? I mean, growing up, we have our parents that, for the most part, are there for us growing up and encouraging us and allowing us to, have a temper tantrum and get over it. But loving you, really, really unconditionally loving you. There's nothing that you can do that would take that unconditional love away. I mean, if you think about it, think about your family. Think about, would you really be friends with some people in your family if they weren't your family? Probably not. But there's a part of you that really loves them. I mean, okay, I'm thinking about a couple people. Don't get general on me. Just, don't be super specific. But being general, there's people in your family that you love unconditionally and you would do a lot of things for. And if they were not in your family, you probably would not tolerate, you probably wouldn't deal with, and you probably wouldn't be friends with them. But you got to relinquish that control. We've got to relinquish that, there's other people's business. And then there's God's business. For whatever reason, whatever lesson I have to learn that I contracted with God before coming here in this lifetime, you know what, maybe I needed to be in that accident for someone else. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to worry about other people's business. We're going to worry about God's business because I know that God is taking care of me. I know that I'm provided for. I know that everything is being taken care of. I know that everything is working out for the highest good for everyone involved. And I trust that. I do. It's not always easy to say that. Let's be honest here, right? How many times have you had something happen to you that wasn't really fun or great, or even you wanted to be there or go through that experience and you felt like that, right? It's not the first thought that comes to mind, but just relinquishing that control, relinquishing the control, thinking that you have control over the outcomes of, who was there, who's going to be there. If you go to a party and it's one of your friends, but then they talk to somebody that you don't talk to anymore, and they're there, like you can't control if the person's going to go or not. It's not always all about us. I mean, we like to think it is, right? Because, why not? We're special, right? You're special. I'm special. Right? Why doesn't the world revolve around us? Why doesn't anybody else get it, right? It's just we're all playing parts in each other's movies. We really are. You have your movie, I have my movie, and you play a part in my movie, and I'm playing a part in your movie. And we have to let go of each other's control. Like, I don't know how you're going to act. You don't know how I'm going to act. And it's just letting that go. Relinquishing control. That's like in a relationship. Like, you want them to be one way, and then he or she wants you to be another way. And you both have to let go of that control. Of course, you can hope to God that they do what they said they were going to do, and they're hoping to God that you just say and do what you said you were going to do. But, they can't control you, and you can't control them. So relinquishing control. And otherwise, life just really cannot surprise us. I was on a trip recently, and I was so just excited. I was so excited about this trip that I was constantly thinking, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? But what if I go here? What if I go there? And just thinking every movement. Now, you see, in my life, I don't know how many of you, or if you've seen that movie, Serendipity. Have you seen that movie? Raise your hand if you've seen it. Yes? No? It's with John Cusack and I don't know the girl's name. But serendipity, when certain things happen in your life and you just kind of know, it's like signs. It's so funny. I'll tell you a really good sign. So this whole time, right before my trip, I'm playing that song by Rihanna called the Diamond Song. The one that goes, shine bright like the diamond. I don't remember how it goes. Of course, now I don't want to tell you the song. Well, okay, so that song. That song, I had that song, Shine Bright Like the Diamond. Okay, so I love that song. One of my meditations is when I'm wanting to ground myself or connect to the earth, what I do is I just imagine, I'm sure if you've heard of the meditation, one of the meditations where you kind of just sit quietly and you imagine that your feet turn into the roots and you go down to the core of the earth. Well, I do that, and so what I do is I imagine that in the middle of the earth there are diamonds. There's a ton of diamonds, diamonds, and big, 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 big diamonds, and there's big like caves of diamonds, and that is like the power, that is like the energy, and that's where I get my energy. And diamonds are made from coal, right? And so coal, when you look at it, I mean, we pretty much char that when we barbecue. I mean, who wants coal? Nobody wants coal. So the coal, what I imagine is that I connect, and that all the negativity, it's just adding onto the coal, and it's going to create a diamond, right? It's kind of like that replenishing of that energy. And so right before I left on my trip, I kept singing that song over and over. Shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. And I was just like singing it, and I know it's not a new song. I know it's like not, I think it's like over 2 years old, but I don't care. I like the song. And the whole trip, I'm going to be super honest with you. I'm vulnerable because I'm going to be totally, why not be vulnerable with you, right? I trust you, and if I'm not vulnerable with you, how can you be vulnerable with me, right? So as you know, if you've been watching my shows and Angel Days and all that, you'll know that I'm currently not so much just dating, but I am searching for not just searching for my partner. I'm open to meeting people who could be my potential partner, my life partner. And so my astrologer said, right now, between the next few months, et cetera, like it's going to be a good time for you to meet someone. And I'm like, oh, yes. I'm so excited, right? And so the whole trip, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be cute, I'm going to be fine. And so I was just constantly thinking about that, not letting go of control, not letting go of the outcome, and definitely not living in my present. Okay, let's just say that. And it was literally the umpteenth hour. And I almost gave up. Not gave up, but I was kind of like, oh, well, whatever. I didn't meet anyone. It's totally fine. I had a good time anyway. And as I got to the airport, because I was taking a plane trip, I got to the airport, sat down, called my boarding number, whatever, and I sat down, and I love to sit by the window seats, so I got a little seat, and I thought, I'm very serendipity, I'm very like, what aisle am I going to sit in, numerology, what does the number add up to, does it match with my numerology, like, I know I'm a little out there, but that's literally how I live my life, with signs. Signs are everywhere for me. And so I was going to sit, instead of all the way in the back because it was a late flight, I decided I'm going to sit a little closer, maybe in the middle, even though I don't really like it, but I want to just get off the plane and I just want to go home. I'm just really tired. And so when I did that, I sat to a seat, I forgot the number of the aisle, but it added up to a 5. And a 5 means change. If you read anything about the angel numbers, you'll know 5s. You see a lot of 5s in your life consistently and recently or whenever. That means change is coming, a lot of change. It's just change. Get ready for change. Change. It is a numerologically, so in numerology, it's a compatible number with my life path number, but it still means change. And I tend to avoid it just because I'm like, I've got already so much change in my life, and I ended up just saying, you know what, I don't even care at this point. Like, I'm compatible, whatever. Like, what else? I'm just going to, like, who cares at this point? Well, I sat down, make a short story long, which I always do. Thank you for listening. I sat next to someone on the plane, and it just so happens that it was a man who ended up asking me out, which was, of course, serendipitous. And the part that I'm going to share with you is more serendipitous. So remember that song I was singing, Shine Bright Like the Diamond. In the conversation, he had no idea that I liked the song or I'd been listening to it or it's been in my head recently. On the plane, he mentioned that he has something, it's like a physical, I'm not going to get too detailed because it's not a good idea. But he had something, a materialistic thing, like of the earth, that means, home, cars, stuff like that. That's materialistic stuff. And he said something about diamond. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. My energy's like, antenna's like up, like diamond. What? And then he said, yeah. So I say, shine bright. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me right now. I was like, Angels, you've got to be kidding me right now. Like, wow. And so without me having to even do anything, really, try, I just had to be present, let go of the outcome, have fun, and be where I needed to be, then it came. It was because I was so in the, I want it right now, I just want it to happen right now. I was so excited of when is it happening, when is it happening? And the minute that I let go, shine bright like the diamond, it came. And so I want to share that with you because it was a blessing in disguise. Here I was thinking, it has to be right now. When is it going to happen? And the minute that I let go, the minute that I released, and also, I just recently, another example is I recently got my car. I didn't know what kind of car I was going to get. And it just worked out. I just waited. I was just kind of like when I gave up and said, you know what, whatever, was the day that I fell in love with a car and everything just worked out. And so life, the universe, God, angels, or fairies, we cannot be blessed. We cannot be in the receiving mode when we have all that stuff, like when we're in our head, when we're not in the present moment, when we're not being grateful, when we're holding on to our past, when we're not letting go of the outcomes. We've got to just breathe so that way we can be surprised serendipitously. So I'm going to give you I'm going to invite you to be, to practice this, and how I'm going to ask you or invite you to practice this is to be creative. Be creative. How can you be creative this week? Whether it's taking up a new hobby or whether it's doing something regarding a hobby that you already have and you love and you haven't done in a while. For instance, maybe that's reading. I like to knit. I like to crochet. I like to color. I like, ever since I was a little girl, I love paper dolls. And I haven't found a place that sells like the really nice ones, but I've been on the lookout. So if you know of a place, let me know. I'll go out to the beach, go out and be creative. Maybe it's drawing, maybe it's painting, maybe it's finger painting, maybe it's getting with your children or with your niece or nephew and just being creative with them, whatever that is. Maybe it's paper mache, arts, crafts, scientific stuff, maybe, I don't know, making an experiment, safe, of course, safe. Hobbies, picking up a hobby or going back to a hobby that you already love, that you already have and love. Second way is to have some quiet time. Have some quiet time. The minute that we breathe is the minute that our angels are able to connect with us. It's the way that our angels are we're allowing our angels to give us divine messages. And so quiet time. Definitely invite you to have some quiet time. You can also, another way, which is kind of part of quiet time, is go out into the nature, whether it's on the beach or whether it's a park or whether it's just walking around your block or at lunch on your break. If you work, then and you get a break if you're there for 8 hours or more, or 7 hours, whatever the break limit is. Hiccups. Just really going outside and breathing, having some quiet time, collect your thoughts and get back into that place, back into your heart, back into your heart. that allows you to really go, go within and ask, and that voice within will tell you, this is what's going to make me happy right now. This is what's going to make you happy right now. And it's going to be different for everyone, So what I like may not be something that you like, but what you like may not be something that I need or want. And so just trusting your heart, trusting that it's guiding you, trusting that. And then, of course, asking your angels. Ask your angels for the lesson to be revealed. So angels, please help me learn this lesson well so I don't have to go back and learn this again, so I don't have to deal with this again, right? Okay. And last but not least is celebrate. Celebrate that, you know what? You're alive. Celebrate that you have, everything that you have. You have your 10 fingers, you have your 10 toes, you have nails, you have hair, you have eyes. You can see, today you can breathe, today you have your health, or, whatever part of you that you're grateful for. Today I'm able to connect with you, and I'm so grateful for that. Today, the day after I had the accident, I was able to feel in my body a little bit of pain, and I'm grateful because you know what? I'm alive. I'm alive. And, my family didn't get a check in the mail from not life insurance, but, like, oh, here's her belongings, or what, like, that's horrible. It's horrible. And so, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm here. So, that is what's going on. Blessings in disguise. That is our topic today. We have some questions, and I would love to answer them. I have had quite a few phone calls, and I don't know who's been calling me, but they need to leave me a message. And we have a couple people. Okay. Let's go with Marina. Hi, honey. Are you there?
Hello, Miss Xochi.
Hi, love. How are you?
Good. Sorry about hanging up and coming on and hanging up and coming on, but I was having a little bit of difficulty.
It's okay.
It's on my end, though.
It's okay. I was like that last week, so it's all good. How can I fully support you today, Marina?
I just wanted to check in and see where my map is.
Okay. See where your mess is?
My map is.
Oh, your map.
Okay.
Okay. Let's pull a card for you. I'm going to pull a part of the multi-deck, and then I'm also going to, I'm being guided to pull from the Ascended Masters deck for you. So I love when I have all my cards right next to me because it's just so fun to hear what they want to say to you. So take a deep breath, Marina. Let's go ahead and all take a deep breath. Let go of the tension, the pain, the drama, the anguish, the overwhelm, any stress, any worry. Just let it go. Just we're going to ask your angels, Marina, to come forward and give us a clear message for you. Where your map is. Where's your map, right? Are you being literal?
You know what? I don't know where I'm at right now.
Okay. I didn't think it was literal, but I just wanted to make sure because I know we've dealt with keys before. So. Okay, so the first card that's coming through. Okay, so the first card that's coming through, it says Father, Husband, Brother, Son. So what male energy right now are you not dealing with, or are you? They're saying it's kind of like an avoidance.
Nothing that I know of.
Father, husband, brother, son.
I don't have any male energies around me right now.
Okay. And the absence of, have you thought about any male energy recently?
No.
Okay, hold on. Because the second and third card are going to be really obvious. Not obvious, but for us spiritual light workers, it's going to be obvious. So, but I want to address this issue. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to ask them to be a little bit more clear because Okay, that's what it is. So the male energy there is also receiving money. So because it's kind of like a balance. Remember we were talking about that earlier, the giving and receiving. They're saying that this actually has to deal with money. So there's something off balance, whether you're giving too much or whether you're receiving too much, or there's something off balance, and you've got to step back into that. And that's where the male energy is coming from. Because a card that supports this, it says infinite abundance. So they're saying to ask yourself, what part of me does not believe that I can create or that I am worthy of infinite abundance?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because the second and third card, out of the first time that I pulled, the next card is Ascended Master Vishnu, which is a Hindu deity, and the card says trust. I'm going to pull the other card back up, but I want everyone to see this card. This is an amazing card. I love this card. It says trust. So where can you let go of control? Because I know that there's some money issues, and that's okay, but where are you holding on so tightly that it's kind of like if you're holding down the reins, or like they're showing me like you have the tubes, to like your pipeline from where you receive abundance and prosperity, and it's like it comes down to you in like a pipeline or like tubes. And it's kind of like you're holding on so tightly that you're clogging it, and it's just, you're like, where is it, because you're holding on to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you're not trusting, and you've got to let go. So what part of your life, or what aspect, where can you trust more?
I just got to give it all up.
Yeah, you really do. You've got to trust. That is the card. The card is trust. And of course, I'm not surprised at all. The third card is manifestation.
Okay.
Manifestation. You have the power. You've done it before, and you know it. And I think that that's part of when we manifest. Remember, Marina, that we've also got to let it go, like the letter in the mail. Because you're really good at creating it. I'm going to tell you something that a healer told me earlier this year. He said, you don't like to be on Earth as far as like the material, like the whole, and honestly I don't. I prefer to be up in the angel realm all the time, like la la la, unicorns and fairies and angels, and oh my. That's me personally. I would love to live there. But I'm on Earth, and I can't. And he said, in order for you to receive what you manifest, because you manifest very, very well, you've got to be here on Earth to receive it.
That really makes sense now.
Right? So focus on grounding. And that, again, is going back to the male energy. And this is a card, for those of you watching. This is a card, father, husband, brother, son. That's going back to the male energy. You've got to ground. And I'm going to tell you that the minute I started grounding, life got real. Life got real. Life got real. I had the accident. I mean, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you. God forbid. That's not what I'm saying that's going to happen. But things happened. Things started happening. And that's the only way that we're able to get through things. I was kind of like holding on to this idea of everything's going to be fine and hunky-dory and blah, 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 and la, 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 living in my la-la world, because that's where I like to live. But because I wasn't living on Earth, I wasn't being present, and I wasn't grounded, nothing was really happening either. It was kind of like I was like, no, 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 I'm in my bubble, and we're fine, and I like it here. And so it was kind of like I was closing off. But now that I've really had to ground myself, then you know, and now that I've had this accident, it's obviously there's certain levels for you, right? There's lessons that you're going to go through, and I know I'm like, I have to go through this. I want it to go away, but for whatever reason, like I'm going to come out on the other side stronger and better and with more lessons to give you, and you've got to ground, because you've got to be here on earth to receive. You know, you've got to, because, you know, it's kind of like I got that car and I was in my bubble, but you know what? That wasn't even the right car for me. I had this accident, and then now I'm just like, oh my God, I love my car now. Like, I'm in love with my car. And out of that situation, actually, out of that car accident, when they ended up totaling the brand new car, and I actually got money back, which was, I was like, is that even possible? You know, so there's blessings too. It's not just not good stuff, you know, or not fun stuff all the time. But you've got to ground. You've got to go through it, because think about a time that you've struggled before, Marina, and ask yourself, did you get through it? Yeah. And ask yourself, what was it worse before? Like, if something bad happens to you, or what you have to go through right now, like money-wise, have you been through something worse? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say it again. The word is trust. And it's grounding, honey. And it's I'm not going to lie, it's scary. It's not, you know, because it's the unknown, it's the fear, but that's why we're here, right? That's exactly why we're here. And we've got to trust that we are provided for, because we've been through worse. We've been through worse. And without our tools, right? When you've been through worse, tell me, if you had the tools that you have now, did you have them then? No. Okay. So how bad could it be? Yeah, you're right. Right? And you know what? I hear you. I hear you. I'm sending you, honey, like a big hug. Big hug. I'm sending my heart energy to your heart energy. And sending you a lot of angels. I know that you can do this. I know that you can do this. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Good. Keep me posted, Marina. Keep us posted. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to put you back on mute, okay? Thank you. Okay. My pleasure, Marina. I love it when we're here and we're learning, because what I go through, I hope that I can help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. That's my goal. That is my goal. So let's go to our next caller. Oh, and we're running okay on time. Eliana. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. How can I fully support you tonight, honey?
Excuse me?
How can I fully support you?
I was calling today. I felt like I needed to ask you about my dad.
Okay.
So I just want to know why he's not getting any work.
Why he's not getting any work. Okay, yeah, let's look into that. So go ahead and take a deep breath. Think of him. Just keep his energy in your forefront. Take a couple deep breaths, and we're going to all just tune into his energy through you. They're saying, number one, that your dad has some limiting beliefs, like your dad thinks he's too old, he's not going to find a job. Has he been really kind of negative lately?
Recently, yes, but it's because this has been ongoing for almost 5 years already.
Okay, okay. The first card that I pulled out of the tarot deck. It's a little bit more intense energy, and it kind of gets me to the real, it helps me just kind of get into the real. the first card, I'm not surprised, it's an earth card. And the earth card is one of the earth cards, because there's earth, air, water, and fire. The earth cards have to deal with the material needs, which is jobs, work, you know that, money, home, and whatnot. And so it's this king of earth. And so so I'm getting his angels, or your angels, I'm getting the angels are telling me that he is used to things coming very easy to him. And he's at a place that he didn't think he would be at this age. And he's a little disgruntled. Yeah. And so he would like, honestly, he's not from this, is he from this country or no?
No.
Okay, because I'm getting that he would like to either travel back to where he's from, either go out to live there or go out and stay there for a while. Like, there's something that he misses, and he needs that connection. Does that make sense? I'm also getting that
he wants to go to Mexico, but he's afraid because of how it is over there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of holding him back.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting that. I'm definitely feeling that he really, really wants to go over there. And if his heart is in it, he knows okay, so he's telling me that the confidence is what he needs a little boost of. If you continuously say, help him with the confidence factor of Dad, you know way more than the workers out there do because you've been here. You have way more experience because you've been here. Like, they're going to want your business. I'm really getting that it's just a confidence factor, but I really feel that his heart is over there. I can feel that.
And you're not the first person to tell him that. Somebody had already told him that when you try something and it's not going, it's because that's not your destiny and your heart is somewhere else. And he always envisioned that he would be living in Mexico by this time with a business over there. Just that he doesn't want to leave in part because he doesn't want to leave me also.
That's so sweet. I love that. Daddies are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make a deal with him. I would do the same thing with my dad because I would not want my dad to not be happy. And I would say, Dad, I promise to visit you. I promise that I will check in with you. But, it makes me feel better that I know that you're doing what you love to do. And this is your time. This is the reason why nothing here is working, because your heart isn't here. Your business is waiting for you. The second thing is that he's the second card that's coming through, it says King of Air. And I think that his plan is not very concrete. It's not very... because he's just unsure, and there's a confidence issue. So if you kind of help him connect the dots with people, with the places.
And that's what I've been trying to do with the new job that I got. Remember I told you I started working in a property management office?
Yes.
And I've been trying to get him work there, but it just seems like, people are kind of hesitant about trying, like, somebody new, willing to hire somebody new. Because he's a contractor. And it kind of makes me upset too when I see that I tell them about it and they overlooked it. Because they don't know how he does the job. But,
I know that feeling, and as a daughter, I understand that. I totally feel you, honey. As a daughter, that's like, it kind of, it's a little upsetting too, because you're kind of like, it frustrates. I understand that. I totally understand that.
I hear them every single day talking about, construction work stuff, that it kind of makes me sad, like, my dad's sitting at home they need people here, but I already told them, and they're not willing to trust us.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
I
But
completely understand. I completely understand. Yeah, definitely keep on trying. And just what you can do is just set that intention. Just say, help your dad, though, make that connection for the move. See, like, whatever information he needs to get out there, I really think that his heart, and he's not going to be happy until he goes back because he's just frustrated here.
Yeah, he is.
So create a possibility for him. Allow that dream to come true for him. Even if it's he tries it or he goes to Mexico and tries to check it out, see how he can make it work.
He tried to open up a business over there in 2009, but the business didn't fail, so he came back.
Yeah, 2009 was not a good. That was right after
so he came back, and he wants to go back to open up a business there, but he doesn't really like that part of Mexico.
Well, tell me to go somewhere else.
He likes it more in Mexico, so.
Okay, well, I'm getting close to like the ocean.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Someplace like Cancun. Honestly, that's what I'm getting. Maybe Cabo is what I'm getting.
He has spoken about Cabo.
Yeah, I keep getting the C word, like Cancun, Cabo. Somewhere by the ocean is what I'm getting. I'm getting somewhere by the ocean. And in Cabo, like, everybody there speaks English, you know. He can actually contract different, what I'm getting is people who have homes but are like, you know, U.S. citizens. Like, there's a lot of people that have like vacation homes or they have land out there and they want to build. He can market to that. Yeah.
Okay.
And you being in, you know, real estate and knowing about that, I'm getting that. I'm getting that something along those lines of that. But come up with a plan.
I would have no problem moving to Mexico either.
Awesome. And you know what? Help them just put a plan together. And ask the angels for signs. Ask the angels to guide you to the right people. Ask the angels to really, really roll out that white carpet. They don't have a red carpet. It's a white carpet because it's the Holy Spirit. So have them roll it out and say, show me the way. Show me the way. I'm open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely, honey. Thank you so much for calling in. I really, we're going to send your dad angels and your family, and we're going to just know that everything is taken care of, and just we got to let go of the control.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. I'm going to put you back on mute, and I'm going to just end the call in just a few minutes. I want to remind you that August 10th, we're going to be having a how to read your own oracle card, how to do your own oracle card reading. It's going to be August 10th, and I don't know exactly where yet. I think it will be in the Long Beach area, but I will keep you posted on that. If you are interested, please send me an email because the cost is going up soon. It is $77, but it comes with everything. And it's like we're probably going to be there for at least 2 hours. We'll probably have a little break as well with like some snacks. So, and you do receive your own deck of cards. So I want to remind you that I'm having the workshop, and I'm also going to be starting workshops up again by probably the end of the year. So I'm going to be putting that out there. They're going to be in my home, so they're very intimate. So sign up to my website, the opt-in, which is lxavalos.com, lxavalos.com. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletters, and send me an email if you were looking into coming to any of the workshops. I'd love to connect with you and meet you in person. And again, of course, if you're in the Long Beach area. So that is tonight's call. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, look for the blessings. Look for the blessings. They're sometimes in disguise. They're not always so obvious. So look for the blessings. I'm sending you many, many angels for this week. I will see you. And this week I'm taking a vacation from the Angel Days going to be regrouping a lot of things. So I'm taking this week off just to remind you. I'm going to continue doing them, but just this week I'm not doing them. Okay, so I'm sending you love, smooches, and I will see you tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, next week. And remember that if opportunity doesn't knock, create a door, open it, and walk through it. This is Miss Xochi, your host, every Tuesday evening at 7:30 p.m. with Creating Angelic Experiences. I'll talk to you later. Toodaloo.